Hi, my friends. Today I want to present you a new story. Enjoy watching it.
The morning of my sister's wedding began the way every family gathering had for the past decade, with a phone call designed to remind me of my place. Stella. My mother's voice drifted through the line, half a sigh, half a reprimand. Please, don't embarrass us today. Wear something appropriate. Speak only when spoken to. This is Lillian's moment. I stood in front of the mirror in my hotel room, staring at the lime green bridesmaid dress hanging limp from the hanger. It was no accident Lillian had chosen that color for me. On anyone else, it might have been fresh, lively. On me, it clashed with my complexion, made me look like a fruit left too long in the sun. I'll do my best, I murmured, though bitterness curled in my throat. You know how people talk, Mother continued. With all of Jacob's family, lawyers, surgeons, investors, it's important we don't draw attention to your cafe work. My cafe work. That's what they reduced it to, as if I weren't the founder and CEO of Tomlinson's International Restaurant, a billion-dollar empire of flavors that spanned continents. But of course, in their version of the story, I was just a kitchen hand wiping counters. Maybe, I said carefully, one day you'll see there's more to my life than washing dishes. Her laugh was short, clipped. Stella, don't start with your fantasies. Lillian deserves a perfect day. Let's not cloud it with stories. The call ended, leaving a ringing silence. I set the phone down and took a slow breath, steadying myself. My reflection stared back, shoulders squared, eyes hard with something my family had never bothered to notice. Resolve. They didn't know about the flights I took across oceans, or the boardrooms where my signature decided the future of thousands. They didn't see the staff who called me Miss Tomlinson with respect, not pity. To them, I was invisible. The family's embarrassment. A knock at the door broke my thoughts. My cousin Dylan poked his head in, grinning. You ready, dishwasher? Don't get food stains on that dress. I smiled thinly, suppressing the storm that wanted to rise in me. Not today, I promised myself. But soon. And as I slipped the lime dress over my shoulders, I felt the first tremor of what I didn't yet realize. The day my invisibility would finally shatter. The church was dressed in gold and white, filled with laughter that wasn't meant for me. I slipped into my assigned seat, far from the front, tucked at the edge of the pews like a stranger at her own sister's wedding. As the ceremony began, I tried to focus on the vows, but whispers drifted around me. Isn't that Stella, the one who never finished college? I heard she still makes coffee for a living. No wonder her parents never mention her. The words stung, though I had long since learned to keep my face composed. When the priest pronounced Lillian and Jacob husband and wife, applause thundered. I clapped too, but my hands felt heavy, hollow. The reception was worse. Round tables glittered with crystal and champagne, and I was seated with distant cousins who eyed me like I'd wandered in by mistake. My dress itched against my skin. I could feel eyes trailing over the lime fabric, searching for flaws. Then came the speeches. Jacob's father praised his son's accomplishments. My mother rose next, voice rich with pride as she praised Lillian's beauty, her ambition, her perfect match. Not once did her gaze touch me. Finally, my brother Mark, the groomsman, took the microphone. His grin was sharp. Well, today's about celebrating the best of our family, he said, raising his glass. And thankfully, every family has only one embarrassment. Laughter rippled through the hall. Dozens of eyes turned toward me, some mocking, some pitying. My cheeks burned. Mark leaned closer to the mic. Don't worry, Stella. We still love you, in our own way. You've always been the family's weakest link. The laughter swelled. My fork trembled in my hand, but I forced myself still. I wanted to scream, to tear away the mask I'd been forced to wear. But instead, I breathed slowly, my pulse hard and steady. Not yet, I told myself. Not here. But your cruelty has been noted, brother. And as the laughter faded into music, I felt something ignite inside me, cold, sharp, unyielding. My family danced at the center of the room, while I lingered at the fringes, clutching a half-empty glass. Every laugh, every glance carried an edge sharpened just for me. Near the dessert table, two bridesmaids whispered. She really showed up in that dress, one smirked. It's like she wants to remind everyone she doesn't belong, the other replied. Their words slipped under my skin like tiny blades. I forced myself not to flinch, keeping my chin high. The clinking of champagne glasses could not drown out the whispers. Wherever I moved in the reception hall, a hush followed, then the muffled rise of gossip. "She's on food stamps," I heard. "Barely scraping by. Her parents pay for everything." "Honestly, I think she has learning issues. Poor Stella, she never had a chance." The words sliced deeper than I expected. At one table, I overheard my cousin snicker. "We should just set up a fund for her. Without us, she wouldn't survive." Laughter followed, low and cruel. My sister Lillian, basking in her usual golden glow, whispered loudly enough for others to hear, "It's sweet she came tonight. I mean, despite her situation." The pitying look stung more than the words. I swallowed hard, forcing a brutal smile. My silence was armor, but every cruel assumption pressed cracks into it. The best man, Daniel, stood apart from the others, watching me. His expression wasn't mocking, it was calculating, almost protective. He raised his glass slightly as though signaling me, a subtle acknowledgement that someone else had seen the cruelty and perhaps didn't agree with it. I excused myself, stepping outside into the cool night air, trembling. Their narrative had cornered me into invisibility for years. Tonight, though, something inside me shifted. I would no longer let their lies define me. They had mistaken my restraint for weakness. Soon the truth would burn their illusions to ash. The reception hall glittered with chandeliers as I re-entered, head held high though my chest still ached from the gossip. Lillian's laughter carried above the music, sharp, dismissive, triumphant. Then the doors burst open. A man in a tailored suit strode inside, commanding attention. Gasps rippled through the crowd as he approached me. "Miss Stella," he said formally, ignoring the family's stares. "The merger papers have arrived. The $2.05 $4 billion deal is ready for your signature. The helicopter is waiting." The room froze. My relatives blinked in disbelief. My parents exchanged frantic glances. "Merger?" my uncle croaked. "Helicopter?" my aunt whispered. All eyes fell on me. For years, I had hidden behind quietness, letting them believe whatever lies suited them. But here, at the very table of my humiliation, the truth demanded light. I stepped forward. My voice was steady. "Since you all love to wonder about my life, let me clarify. I am the founder and CEO of a $5.4 billion international restaurant chain. We employ over 21,000 people across 6 continents. While you speculated I was living off scraps, I was building an empire." Silence slammed the room. Forks froze midair. Faces paled. My father's lips parted, but no words emerged. My mother's hand trembled over her glass. My sister Lillian, ever the golden child, looked as though the floor had been pulled from beneath her. She stared at me as if struck. The envy in her widened eyes was naked, her confidence shattered. "I never misled you," I continued. "You assumed the worst because you never believed in me. That was your choice, not mine." I allowed a soft smile to curl. "Oh, I almost forgot," I added with effortless charm. "My wedding gift is waiting for you around the corner. The latest model Lexus." The casual remark fell like a thunderclap, echoing with irony. The truth hung heavy, undeniable. Their gossip was dust now, and for the first time, they were speechless. Outside, the night air felt electric, charged with freedom. The helicopter's blades thundered in the distance, cutting through the silence I had left behind. Daniel walked beside me, his smile faint but proud. "You burned their story to the ground," he said. "I didn't lie to them," I replied. "I just stopped shrinking for their comfort. They wanted me small, dependent, but I never was." We reached the helipad. The rotor wash whipped my dress and hair, scattering the ashes of my past across the night sky. Behind me, the reception lights glowed faintly, that world shrinking with every step. For years, I had carried the weight of their scorn. Now the firelight of truth had burned it away. I turned once more, speaking not to them but to the shadows of memory. "I owe you nothing. Not my money, not my silence, not my presence." The helicopter door opened. I climbed in, my pulse steady, my spirit untethered. As we lifted off, the city lights spread wide beneath me, vast, limitless, waiting. For the first time, I felt entirely free.
Friends, what do you think of this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Would you like more stories? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any videos. See you tomorrow.